undisclosed location. This is your host, Tanky, and today we are going to be doing some more Rogue Trader. Surprise, surprise. Uh, so we finally got Corin. We're finally officially the Rogue Trader. And now we go and do some more rogue trading. Specifically, we're going to look for our Eldari companion Yrliet's friends. See what exactly. Where exactly they are. And we might talk to Namas. Excuse me. I also have to, just check here real quick. Because there's a colony quest. The Void Scout ship has arrived in the colony's orbit, having returned from a long expedition. Their hold is filled with trophies, and their Prometheum tanks are nearly empty. Let's see what happens. I thought they might have done more stuff. If... well, whatever. Oh, that... oh, I failed. Okay. Upon your approach, the Scarlet Pursuer sends you a hearty greeting. Captain Demir Shani wishes good health upon you and your entire dynasty and asks if you might have any up... okay. Now, I'm just gonna save real quick. because I'm gonna do something very stupid. Lord Captain, the astropaths are going crazy in their little chamber. They are reporting severe disturbances along our intended route. It looks like the mall is completely impassable. I've seen this before, yes, and if you ask me, going in there is not a good idea for us or any other void ship. By the grace of the Emperor, I've been assigned with chronicling the voyage that my blessed commander, Lord Yrliet, intends to undertake through the turbid tract of warp known as the Maw. The thought of what lies ahead fills our souls with terror, but we all have faith in the light of the Emperor. May his protection be with us now. Lord Captain, we have locked onto the blessed light of the Astronomicon and are ready to make our first warp jump to the Hermitage. Once in the Void Station's orbit, we will carry out maintenance liturgies and, with luck, exchange information with other trade void ships that are using the region as a rendezvous point. The second jump will be made to the Witch-cursed world, a foul and lifeless planet, at which point we will assess the state of the vessel. A third warp jump is planned to Port Wander, where, the Protector willing, we will reach the vast expanse of the Imperium, and we will abide there in safety. Lord Captain, we once again draw your attention to the fact that the warp of the Maw is more turbulent than usual. The Definer's vigil pretends death for us, and much worse besides. This is not our first decade perceiving the void, and we have seen terrible storms, but none like this. We beseech you, please have mercy on us. If that be not your will, we will stand ready to serve until the end. Okay, jump to the Hermitage. Made it to the Hermitage, an outcome made possible solely by the Emperor's mercy. The ship has been chewed up by the ravenous Immaterium, and madness has taken root across our decks and stalks among us, staring us in the eye. The vessel is in orbit around the station, thronged by thousands of silent satellites, the jettisoned body of the dead. I spent the entire jump in the murky depths of the astropathic choir bay, where the acolytes of the ship's surgeon walked back and forth in silence. After singing the healing liturgy from beginning to end, they marched among the psychers who had been medicated into unconsciousness. Any psycher who awoke, often with howls of horror, was quickly pacified with a sharp jab from an electrified baton. But my attention was wholly captured by Yrliet Talas. Gripping the shoulders of each astropath in turn and staring into their eyes, she compelled the raving psychers to collapse with a visceral cry, curling up on the deck with all thought of resistance gone from their mind. How many did she save? How many would have perished without her? Every moment I hear the full voice of vehement ire. It is the voice of the Emperor. It is so ferocious my blood fears it. Fleeing my body through my ears and nose, the angels bade me compile a picked chronicle of the horrors recorded by the servo skulls in the ship's bay. May whoever find it know the torments we suffered before death. I saw the picked recordings made on various decks with my own eyes. With horror and avid curiosity, I relished each bloody detail, drinking in the stream of chaotic, incomprehensible scenes. Nameless dread blossomed from my soul. I saw bloody massacre in the Engineerium, people armed with tools bashing each other's heads in. I saw a deck of violently convulsing bodies covered in layers of mold and sprouting grotesque fungi. I witnessed a crowd of crew members walk towards an open airlock with mindless, exultant smiles on their face, and be caught a moment later on a wave of air and wrenched out into the cold embrace of nothingness. With my own eyes, I saw a gunner steadily hitting a large caliber shell with a wrench, and inside a cogitator, I could just make out the bloody remains of an engineer, and possibly squeezed in among the tangled wires. So much horror, so little hope. My lady, it grieves me to report the demise of 97.61% of the blessed machine spirits entrusted to my care. Reactors 2 and 3 required expedited burials. And the deck's... How many reactors do we have? And the deck's crew held a vigil in their memory. The servitors have logged at least 11 breaches in the hull exterior, at least 3 in the hull interior. With my lady's gracious permission, I will endeavor to save what can still be saved. The Omnissiah knows all and comprehends all. Scouting report. I don't know how they haven't gone crazy yet, sitting in the middle of this warp storm. There are 1,000 people there, a few hundred outcasts and anchorites living permanently on the station, and the crew of a trading vessel that barely made it as far as the Hermitage and won't be departing ever again. It seems they spend whole days sitting under their crystal dome and praying, eating ration packs, and watching as reality loses its mind. They say the Emperor will protect them against the coming tempest. Of course they do. He is the only thing they can trust in. For them, there is nowhere else to turn. We offered them passage on our ship. Not one said yes. Mad, all of them. When the message came through the Foxnet, I struggled to hear it over the whispering of the angel in my ears. My honorable lady gave the order to make jump to the witch-cursed world. We are at the witch-cursed world, the place where we are doomed to perish. That is what the Emperor's angel told me. His voice almost impossible to bear. It bade me record every drop of sorrow. My chronicle will spread his word through the warp, and so terror all who come to know of our dire voyage. So speak the angel, and my own thoughts are so muddled that all I can do now is submit and bear witness. As soon as the ship exited the warp, thousands of crew members assembled in teams, launched into repairing the major areas of damage. The will of our fearless captain drove them, and in that moment I deeply envied her resolve. Lord Captain's honorable companion Heinrich Sven Kalix personally led the ship's hands into the most seriously damaged decks. First, he admonished the cowardly crew members who refused to do their duty, and then he banished the fear from their hearts with a single shot. Verily, the man's mercy is great indeed. I left the astropathic choir bay and spent this jump into Navigator's sanctum. Though the number of casualties was high, many managed to survive, including me. Furthermore, when the malevolent tentacles of the warp reached into our souls and a bloody inscription in an unholy language began to appear on the bulkhead, the Emperor granted me the blessing of bearing witness to a miracle. Sister Argenta, entirely undaunted, marched up to the bulkhead and erased the words with a fearless swipe of her hand. She turned to us with a smile and said, "It is only blood. Do not fear the Imperium, for its nightmares are nothing before the Emperor's light." In that moment I had faith that all was not yet lost. Today I believe I was mistaken. The losses and damage are enormous. They say there was a mutiny. The master helmsman reports that the odds of surviving another jump are 0. The odds of a successful jump backwards are also 0, but the second 0 is slightly less definitive. In terms of the systems are failing, experiencing periodic stop it, I am afraid. Failure. And to hear Avenir's report. We must not make planetfall. I know what I saw, and no, we must not set down on that planet. It's not because the wind can tear the hull off the landing shuttle in the blink of an eye, or because the temperature on the surface fluctuates between red-hot plasma and absolute 0. No, it's because planets do not have faces, but this one did. A vast face of jagged plateaus, eyes of fiery tornadoes, and a mouth made from a crater or half a continent across. I saw the face smiling at me. It saw me. It saw all of us. We must not make planetfall. Emperor have mercy on us. Addendum. Engineer Avalier was executed 4 hours after submitting this report for fomenting panic among the crew. The Pict Chronicle recorded by the eyes of the servo skull made my heart stutter. In horror, I watched as a crewman, who seemed perfectly healthy, struggle against the shackles pinning him to an operating table, and a group of doctors whispering excitedly among themselves, and drew out their steel surgical instruments and eagerly began cutting into his flesh. I cried out as I watched Engisir's burning holy incense, and prepared to waken the plasma generator's machine spirit. A young acolyte, his heart wavering, accidentally disrupted the liturgy, releasing the motive force into the power circuit before it was time, and my poor eyes were blinded by the white light of the explosion. After that I was silent, and for that was the only way I could continue to watch. Technomats in dirty coveralls reverentially poured showers of blood onto the base of a macabre tree, a weapon pointed upwards, support outspread like branches, and hanging from them like ripe fruit were the bodies of the bay's officers. After tossing aside his discharged lasgun, the priest brought his fingers to his bleeding ears, then daubed the crimson words of the bulkhead. "Don't listen to him. He is no angel." Who was he talking to? Me? The scarlet roses, their buds bleeding, were growing through the bulkheads, which were covered with patches of rot. Crew members in black uniform incinerated them with flamethrowers, weeping back tears and roaring with maniacal laughter. A string of people silently entered an airlock, above which was written Hangar C-11-2, and were lost to the darkness. As the deputy cargo artifacts, I know the ship's layout well. There's never been a hangar in C-11-2. The unknown has touched our vessel, it has taken root in it, and now we are all in the clutches of the Imperium. Lord Captain, the crew of the Navigator's Sanctum has virtually lost the light of the Astronomicon. Our only hope is to retrace our steps, both in our thoughts and in our pain. Save us or lead us to death. We will follow you no matter what. The rousing speech from the Lord Captain, which was broadcast over the Vox system, inspired the crew, who promptly broke into teams to repair the primary systems. The volunteers, all departed, were later lauded in prayer. The senior officers from all decks gave a general report to my blessed Lord Captain. According to the assessment of all the ship's services, chances of a favorable outcome of a jump to Point Wander were 0. On behalf of the entire crew, they had declared that serving under our glorious commander had been an honor, and if it was her will, they were ready to forge onward and meet their deaths. Okay, now it's time to head back. Lord Captain, a warp jump to the Hermitage cannot be calculated. We cannot detect its shadow within the sacred radiance of the Astronomicon. The warp storms are obstructing everything. We think our only chance is to make a longer jump to Footfall. Our chances of survival are low, but not non-existent. Emperor preserve us. The warp jump is complete. We are still ourselves, and we are still alive, although only 1/10 of those who had set out on the expedition remain. But we have seen everything, and now nothing can dent our crew's spirit. I cannot say the same for my own. When the left side was engulfed in a terrible fire, they were threatening to undermine the main caliber arsenal. Holding tighter to their faith, the crew members responded as one to the harsh voice of our illustrious Lord Captain and rushed to save what remained of the vessel. The angel no longer speaks to me, and a strange emptiness has settled within my soul. Carrying this deficiency inside me is unbearable. Here ends my chronicle, and my duty has been fulfilled. I will append a report about the starry state of the ship after I go to the Engineers to request voluntary servitorization. The Emperor protects. The warp is a sly and insidious beast, Lord Captain. We are ready to acknowledge that now. It was pleased that we admitted our defeat. That is why it let us come back. And we believe that there can only be one reason for that, and even worse fate awaits us here. Crew loss is 87%. Due to the death of the acting transmechanic on Engineer deck, I am reporting that the damage to the ship is widespread and all-encompassing. We are running diagnostics now. Thanks to the ship's confessor reading extracts from the Code of Punishment over the Vox system, the emergency repairs were completed much sooner, and the ship's critical nodes saved. We are voidsmen, sir. We know we will die long before we ever get the chance to soil ourselves in our sickbed. We know our trade. We conquer the void, discover stars, ship freight, and plunder forgotten planets, and we die. We die in ways so horrible that most people can't even imagine such a death. Well, we've gone to a place others fear to even think about. and we've come back from there along with our Lord Captain. Next time the warp tries to play its games, we'll tell it what else do you have to throw at us. Don't ask it that. I don't think we want to know, but anyway. I would be willing to swear that the Generator 6's power circuit unit was switched off when we began the warp jump. There were cracks in the casing, the enclosure was damaged. We would never start up that piece of junk. It would have blown in seconds, and I have no idea how it switched itself on. No one from the crew touched it. When the last generator failed, the energy supply should have been cut off, but number 6 continued to run. It dragged us along for 18 minutes, even though it should have exploded after 18 milliseconds. I don't know how that happened. The Emperor protects.
The Shadow Quarters. When I was last on footfall, I used to take my weapon and wander this area, anticipating an encounter with a mutant or a bandit.
Why are your recollections of this so blue? And the more you talk about it, the darker the blue becomes.
Follow my lead.
Nice little spot. It's good to see folks enjoying themselves. Even the air in here feels nicer to breathe.
An entire establishment dedicated to unproductive and parasitical pursuits. A waste of station space.
of exploring.
Wait, again?
The machine god grants me insight.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Again?
Over. We need to investigate. Victory awaits.
Operation successful.
A new challenge for me?
weird. Why is everything the way it is?
None shall stand in my way.
Hey. Hey, Jasmine.
I did it.
The Footful Dockyard is a blessed wonder of the all-powerful Omnissiah. The rest of the station is extraneous, a superfluous appendage.
I mean, the people in there make it run, but... whatever. starship that once traveled the galaxy is now suspended in the silent void like a carcass of a giant monster. When the rogue trader's flagship approaches, the Voxmaster reports an incoming message. The colony of Imperial loyalists that made their home in the bowels of the ship welcomes the Lord Captain. Welcome, your ladiness. Please, come right in. Our chief shall greet ya.
An initial survey of the vessel indicates that my exploratory brethren have already performed a requiem right here. Further examination is inadvisable.
The plate leaves Leifano's pride. The name of Leifano surfaces in your mind. The history of a family from Corona's expanse invested all they have in a family ship. And the ship perished in the warp on its maiden voyage. When Leifano I never recovered from this crushing blow.
You left the Novus Imperialis to serve the rogue trader. Do you ever regret it, Seneschal?
No, I do not regret it in the least. Serving in the Imperial Navy is a fine thing to do. But it was only under Lady Theodora that I truly felt the significance of what I was doing. This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
You're always praying, Cog. Don't you ever bore yourself? Do you even know what fun is? What about jokes, huh?
The concept of humor has been detected in the catalogue. Demonstration. An ignorant layperson, a low-status candidate for servitorization, and a blasphemous augment thief walk into a bar, deprived of the omniscience blessing.
A working area where fragments of a ship are dismantled in search of parts of valuable metals.
It's about time.
Rita, a tired-looking woman of indeterminate age, clad in work clothes, breaks off from her task to greet you. She freezes momentarily, unsure of how to address you, then simply says, "Your ladyship, please excuse me. I don't really know what your name. I don't really know your name. Welcome to our little colony. May the Emperor be with you and with us. My name is Rita Machsimos. I'm in charge of here." We call ourselves Rita's crew, and this place is Rita's camp. That's it. We're recollegers, scavengers in common terms. She does not speak the word scavengers with any kind of disdain. On the contrary, there is dignity in her voice, the kind with which one would announce their affiliation with a respected guild or family. And our work is legal, even though your brethren have no liking for us. No, not even close. A luxury like that? You could count the recollegers who got their own ship on one hand. An old worker's hand that got sucked into the machinery 3 times and squashed by a plasma cutter twice. We fly with whoever, mostly just taking our chances. Sometimes we hitch a ride on the promise that we'll pay in with what we find later. Other times we find some other means. Risky business, obviously. 5 or so years back, a crew got dropped off at an abandoned station, but something wasn't right with the life support systems. The ship came back to pick them up 2 years later and found nothing but bodies. About 15 years ago, back before I had my first little one, a ship took 3 crews to locations and ran into pirates on the way back. The ships go out on expeditions for years at a time, so it was ages before anyone realized they were missing. It was even longer before they remembered the scavengers. Plus, it took some time to find a ship that could check on them and pick them up. Long story short, all 3 crews had bought it. Yep. Right now, we're gutting this old heap of junk slowly but surely. That's a recolager's life for you. They drop us off at some decrepit station or ancient battlefield, and we just sit there for years on end. We look for working tech or valuable materials or whatever else might be useful. If we find anything, we sell it to passing ships. Not the easiest job out there. These wrecks are chock full of all kinds of dangers, but, and I swear on my plasma torch, it's an exciting one for sure. This little bird's got all kinds of bells and whistles. Most of the tech is dead, but we do find working pieces now and again. We spent 2 whole months clearing out the shaft we found. Finished 3 days ago, actually, and we found this thing. A bit weird looking, but still functional. Perhaps your ladyship would like to buy this component from us. I'll bet that big ship you've got could get plenty of use out for it. Present the object, layperson. Well, isn't this something? The Emperor himself must have smiled upon us. I mean, thank you, your ladyship. You'll be pleased with the results. You know, your ladyship, it's kind of embarrassing to offer you this, but over in that corner over there, we keep things we don't rightly understand or can't really use. You could send some of your people to check it out if you'd like. Clearly, you know more about this stuff than us. You just might find it useful. Not much. We're no eggheads, you know. We're manual labor. It's an ancient thing, but pretty dangerous, and we don't really know much beyond that. Before we came here, some tech priests had done their own bit of gutting. I mean, ritualing, bowing down to the spirits, all that. They don't tend to leave a whole lot of valuables behind, it's true, but it's way too scary to go in before them. And hey, we dragged out 12 of their broken servitors out of the mines after. The carcasses smelled awful, but you can plug a decent number of parts out of the servitor and sell them. Doesn't seem like there's anything nasty living inside the wreck now, but the wreck itself is barely holding together. You got a couple of modules from here, and that's it. You won't take another step without fearing that a broken reactor might cook you alive, or a whole module might depressurize. Well, it's nothing we haven't handled before, so we're having to poke at it, but we don't have a clue what this ship is or who it would belong to. Sure do. It takes skill, luck, and a good head on your shoulders. We risk our lives every day crawling on top of these old buckets. If something goes wrong, we die by the scores sometimes. One moment we're here, the next we're gone, kind of like worker ants. But you know what, your ladyship? Our job also has something. How should I put it, poetic about it? Hope you don't judge me too harshly, and don't take it as insolence, but some people, even big people like you, think too highly of themselves. Let's say your ship hops into warp someday and doesn't hop out of it in time, and there's 1,000 years later, another gal like myself who needs to feed her free ankle biters somehow will be rifling through its remains, looking for anything good. That's the nature of things. Each of us comes, each and goes, but the way of the world stays the same. We all have our lot in life, and mine is just as good as any other. It's what my gramps taught me. He was a recolager and a foreman, too. He had some fancy smancy thoughts in that head of his, but he lived to a ripe old age with them. Our line of work, which means those thoughts weren't all that bad. Okay. Your ladyship, please don't take it as insolent, but it's not like I have much of a choice. It's not often that we get well-stocked ships around here, and we could certainly use more provisions and some warm clothes. If it's something you would be willing to provide, we would gladly barter for with whatever we can dig up from the ship. It's just a respectful offer of trade.
I rise to the occasion.
That wasn't so difficult.
I won't tolerate weakness.
The whispers told me how.
Oh, okay.
Victory awaits!
So where are the cogitators?
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Cogitators fair.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality. The machine god grants me insight.
Okay, I think that's everything. The bizarre structure observed from orbit appears to be the ruined estate of a wealthy noble. Further searching reveals the remains of Envirodome, a landing pad, the main manor, and servants' quarters. It is impossible to determine what exactly happened here. The search team has found something truly disturbing in the main hall, an opulently clothed skeleton sitting at the dinner table. The table is set with gold plates covered with old blood and piles of bones. The bones on the plates are clearly human. No other remains have been found on the estate. A Vox notification from the Augur crew drowns out the usual noise on the bridge. An Imperial vessel, the Darkpiercer, and its escort ships are headed your way. Your archives make no mention of either ship or its owner. As you consider your course of action, the ship's captain contacts you first. Introducing himself as the Pilgrim, the captain meets the rogue trader courteously and offers to purchase any information you might have on crystal phlogiston deposits. The captain's coarse laughter echoes from the Vox. Phlogiston is a part and parcel of many different aspects of life in the Imperium. How exactly his customers are going to use it is none of his concern. All that the Pilgrim promises is that the phlogiston will be used for the good of humanity. Pascal becomes visibly animated at the mention of phlogiston, though is indifferent to the prospect of dealing with the shadowy individual. The Magos nonetheless recommends you find out more about phlogiston deposits. Your own protectorate would benefit from the knowledge. Argenta sincerely believes the word of the Pilgrim. A cow or a golden Aquila are no prerequisites for being his true servants. If the captain sincerely wants to help the Imperium, perhaps by his own methods, there's nothing questionable about extending him a helping hand. The captain of the Darkpiercer is in the best of spirits. In gratitude for your invaluable help, he sends you a small box containing ancient maps and documents. They appear to speak of a certain imperial world lost many centuries ago. Then, in a somewhat conspiratorial tone, the Pilgrim relates a story about a standoff between two Xenos fleets, which he was told by an acquaintance. The person in question, sadly enough, died at the hands of the Inquisition before they were able to pass on the coordinates for the crash site of one of the Xenos ships. However, the Pilgrim knows for a fact that the vessel met its demise on an ocean world. So much plasteel. Medicaid team from the lower decks reported the appearance of a dense purple fog that caused people to develop mutant deformities, short tentacles roughly the length of a pinky finger. And since the deformities do not interfere with the crew's performance, the Medicaid are not certain whether this phenomenon should be a cause for concern, but the riffraff are already whispering of heresy. A violent battle here is unfolding before the Rogue Trader's eyes. Patrol ships from the Corda fleet are tearing apart two smaller Eldari vessels. Once they are finished with them, the Void ships give chase after the third already damaged vessel, clearly with Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh. No. How did I fail this? The planet is devoid of even the most primitive forms of life. However, the crew has made quite a strange discovery. A mirror lying in the center of a huge crater, a completely ordinary mirror in a frame, by all appearance, in pristine condition. The mirror now hangs on the wall in one of the compartments. It looks completely normal. However, only 1 hour after its arrival, the Foxmaster reports that the shuttle crew that delivered the mirror has disappeared. The people who hung the mirror have also disappeared. Even the enforcer who wandered into the compartment by mistake and stopped to fix his new non-regulation cravat has vanished without a trace. About 3 watches after the shuttle crew's disappearance, strange squelching and snapping sounds are heard coming from the mirror compartment. Compartment was brimming with biomatter, strange creatures and plants floating in streams of slimy substance, revealing to be a type of mold upon closer inspection. The missing crew members were also found inside, terrified and unable to remember anything. They returned to awareness while still inside the compartment. They had been only a half an hour away from drowning the biomatter still oozing from the mirror. After analyzing all the available data, the Lord Captain and the officers conclude that Vamir functions in line with the rotation cycle of a planet on which it was found. During the first phase, Vamir absorbs all organic life reflected in it. During the second phase, Vamir regurgitates the organic matter it has consumed, starting with the simplest organisms and progressing to more complex ones. The crew seem numb with horror as they hear the order, yet they obey without a word. Vamir remains in the sealed compartment while the ship continues its journey onwards. Oh, I don't get any heretic points for that.
Let us purge your enemies, rogue trader.
This one's going down. Onward!
Okay.
Fire right now! Set the course.
Might as well fire the torps.
him.
Sentiel's pride hives are oozing noxious haze veined with sulfurous streaks, for promethium fumes from the gigantic distilling cauldrons located beyond the temperatures. The shields, vast, endless deadlands littered with pockets with spots of promethium stations and refineries separate the colossi of rockcrete and adamantine with its own crown of gargantuan spires. The heat of this system star has turned this world into a boiling but lucrative gland within the body of House Corda Protectorate.
A new challenge for me.
should deal with this. Your seneschal is always there for you.
Ugh! Pain and duty go hand in hand.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Oh, this is interesting.
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Follow my lead.
go clockwise. I think. Do the enemies of humanity last. That's a huge warp gate. Oh, hello. So, Void, I'm doing a criminal Voidborn run. Started off as operative. Got a master strategist for Amelia here.
Lay in the course.
How long did I just leave you hanging? It doesn't say. Okay, whatever.
The lance batteries! Lead them! Unleash our vengeful soul! Another salvo!
Oh, okay. Nice. Let's just fuck with them.
One's going down. Onward. Forward! Fire right now!
That's not what I wanted that to do, but whatever. Well, at least now it'll be... heading in the direction of my torpedoes. Nice.
And so it will be with anyone who stands in our way.
Lay in the course.
Oh fuck. Idiot, dumb. Huh.
Fire the launch.
All clear. Congratulations, Lord Captain.
do I have? Okay, that seems to be everything I can do there. Okay. Nothing. Catch ya.
I won't tolerate weak. I'll see you destroyed.
Oh, that's... Oh, I know what's happening.
nothing I can't do. All too easy. Not a problem for me. You'll regret this.
What is it? That's nothing worse.
That was insulting.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
I will do my duty. It will be done.
Okay, now we do a
At
provocation.
your beck and call.
Nice. Oh.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
As the tactical imperative dictates. Running binaric override. The Omnissiah knows all. Comprehends all. The scriptural prophet of the Omnissiah condemns you. Request approved.
Okay. This is... Some could be much better.
I'm not so sure.
You didn't stand a chance.
Brace yourself, Avalon!
If only that were possible. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call. Indeed.
I am his will made manifest. Faith without deeds is worthless. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Nice.
I'll do it.
Running my own right. My vow is to serve.
They who discern the future on the battlefield. But of course, anything else?
Emperor, deliver us!
Do-do.
I've suffered worse. Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Be careful not to cross my gaze. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Follow my lead. Oh, my ears are ringing. At your beck and call.
Bad order there.
Victory is imminent. It will
Yeah,
be
this
done.
is a fun game. I'm just doing very badly at the moment.
Faith without deeds, what is a prayer? Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it.
Advancing. The old Messiah knows all, comprehends
There is movement in the Imperium. Will do.
Suffering is part of the trial.
Nothing I can't do. Nothing of value has been lost.
What? You are target.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet. If I may,
Mocking me.
This wound will make a fine scarf.
I owe you one.
I will do my duty.
Nice.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
I know what is to come. Anything else?
An analysis on you guys.
Reading damage to bulk.
Suits my purposes. Let's see how they respond to this. Already done.
open your eyes, or
Was
I
your
will open
biggest
mine.
mistake.
Another foe painted black. I have read tomes of military tactics. That is foolishness.
There we go.
Me? Insist, your captain. I am a navigator, not a servitor. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. It will be done. At your beck and call. Reduced to dust. We'll rule the stars themselves. A tactically sound approach. It will be done. Indeed. Victory is in the grey hair, sure hand. What's your target? It's nothing.
Curse you, miscreant.
Okay, time to go back to the Coronis Expanse. Oh, whatever. Let's just... Oh, good. Man, really? One plasteel. Rumors say the servants of the Omnissiah are calculating the formula of ultimate destruction in the secluded tech crypts of this world, seeking to confine it to a rigid system of previously unseen weapon primers. Others whisper that the local denizens have dedicated their lives to restoration of a ruined divine weapon from the dark age of technology, whose power and technological perfection are so holy that a mere glance from a layman would be an affront to the Omnissiah. Okay. Let's go to Kiavagama. Fuck. Heretics from Kiavagama are ready to test an experimental engine fueled by warp energy. They're waiting for you to give an order to test the machine. Soon the wandering monster becomes a living legend, fueling fear of a rogue trader. Oh, okay. Do, 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 do. Malcontent has begun spreading insulting rumors. Really? I had to go there? Halfway across the Coronas sector, or to say, yep, I'm ignoring that. Fuck whoever did that. Okay. Let's go to Weeaboo 6. Okay, how much is this gonna suck? A lot. Oh boy.
I'm always ready. Purge the unclean! problem for me. I don't have time for this. Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do. Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me. All too easy. Enjoy your luck while you still draw breath.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I'm not accustomed to being pushed around.
Okay, that could have gone better. And I forgot to do the fucking thing.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless.
But of course. Was it you? Or... On it. Will do. But of course.
Nice.
The scriptural prognosis is
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. I will do my duty. It will be done. At your beck and call. Indeed. Victory is imminent.
Nothing I can't do. There's nowhere to hide. Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me. I'll pass.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? If I may, pride died in grace at least. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Running binary override. My vow is to serve. Request approved. The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all. The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols. Cogitation failed.
I'll paint your death in colors. Scarlet. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Okay, why isn't it? Why is my turn not ending? I guess that's where we stop it. So, until next time, have fun and take care of each other. Good night.